To the Slim Flippers podcast. I am Wes, and I'm joined today again by my friend David. How you doing? From the Breeze Flippers.
I'm good, Wes. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Great to have you back on the podcast. It's been a while since we've been in touch with each other. We actually got to meet each other back in May down near your house.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun with you and your wife, and got to meet up with Mike again, the Death Pile Picker, and his wife. So I think I really enjoyed visiting with everyone, and I hope we can do it again because that was really just good fun talking and just kind of getting to know everybody and on a different level. So I really enjoyed that.
It's fun to actually meet the person face to face because you don't really know when you're talking to somebody online. It's a little different, but when you meet them face to face. But yeah, all of you all are good people.
We had such a great time.
Meet with you.
It was well worth a 2-hour drive.
Well, if you look at it this way, I made an 8-hour drive to be there.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You did with a week in between. So
with a week in between. Yeah.
Oh man.
So we were talking off camera. Let's just kind of dive in to some of the stuff we were just mentioning. How is your resale business going? I know that you're still in the workaday world like I am.
Yeah.
So I guess you're considered quote unquote part-time still.
Yeah, we're still part-time, and I got to be honest with you. A month of May and June were really good. I mean, for part-time, I was making really good. We were making really good sales. I mean, we were having $1,000 weeks. Matter of fact, it was so busy I couldn't even. It honestly didn't have 1 minute to make videos or do anything, which is really silly because that's one of the things I really want to start doing. But it was just the sourcing was good, and the stuff selling was good. We were just blowing it out the door. So, I mean, we were having 15, 20, 30 items mailed out on a weekend. And I just, I don't know what happened a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, or it just died. I mean, July come around right at the very end of June and the first part of July, just nothing. So we had a sale going on, and I firmly believe now that you can't run a sale for more than a couple weeks. I think it gets stale at the end of it, and I think that's kind of what happened. So we ended the sale and then started a new one, and picked up a little bit the past couple days. So I mean, we're having a better week. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I do think it's the summer slowdown. I know that everybody talks about, well, it's a myth or it's not, but the reality is, I think it really is true. I think you got people on vacation, you got so many things going on, and it's just they're not buying it. And everybody wants a deal right now. Are you seeing that same thing? Because that's like I've been getting so many lowball offers. And, I'll send back the offer. I always reply to them because some people say, oh, they just block them or just deny them. But I'll send back one offer and say, this is my bottom offer. This is it. And they'll send back another one and I'll deny it. And I'll say, no, this was it. And then if they do it again, then I just, decline it and go
on with it. Yeah. I had a hat the other day. Somebody, well, you know how you can do offers. So I sent an offer. I had a hat up for $12 and I've had it for a while. So I sent an offer of $9, I took 25% off. It comes back though, it hits me with a counter offer of $667.
Like, what kind of number is that, man?
So I declined it and I went, no. I just took 25% off, and I'm fine hanging on to it because, like I said, I've had it for a while. But then they sent an offer back of $717. Another offer. So obviously somebody messing with me.
Well, I don't know. Do you think that's because I'm wondering on the, in Macari, when you send an offer, I don't think you can send like a dollar amount. You have to pick a percentage. And I'm wondering if they're on eBay, because I've always received offers. I've never sent offers on something because I either like it or I don't. But does it have a little button that you click that says offer 20% or 15% or 10? I don't know. Maybe that's why those odd numbers come up, because who the heck comes up with 667?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't do Macari, so I don't know. But it's just, I feel like it was somebody messing with me. So I was done with that situation and I moved on. But I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with it. So
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I mean, it's just been, but that's been kind of the way it is. I mean, we had I mean, I've had all the way up to a 40% off sale earlier this year, and we were just trying to blow out inventory because we're trying to, downsize a little bit so we could put more stuff in there for the winter, like better stuff. And then that 40% sale ended. Then we ran like a 30% hurricane. We call it the hurricane clean out sale because hurricane season starts in June. And we sold a bunch of stuff, like I said, right at the beginning, and at the end it kind of fizzled. And now we're just running a straight 15%. But I mean, I typically, whenever something comes in, I'll get them. I'll send an additional 5% offer, and I have a little text thing that I just pop in there. I use I don't know if you ever use Blaze. I think it's called Blaze. Blaze text. Anyway, it's text Blaze. It's like this little thing you can put in a forward slash and then a couple letters, and it'll automatically put the text in there for you. I use that a lot for various things to make it like quick. So whenever they send me something, I'll send a 5% on top of the whatever percent I'm offering off. So typically gets a little movement out of it, so you might sell it because my margins are so low anyway. I buy cheap. So it seems like that's been working, but we'll see. I'm kind of hoping it picks up this week. It's been a little bit, like I said, it's just a little disheartening because it is slow, and so are garage sales too. They're slow. I mean, it's been so darn hot. I mean, people just nobody's having
that's
sales.
something I was going to ask you because you were talking about moving some inventory. Have you ever done garage sales to move out those older items? Have you ever done that?
My wife and I like to say we like to say we're professional garage sellers. I mean, because we used to do garage sales all the time. We would do one a year, or sometimes two a year. Whenever we just said, "Oh, we just need some extra money, let's just have a garage sale." So we would get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. Of course, when you had girls growing up, they'd grow out of clothes so fast and toys and everything else. So we would just sell it all off. Now we look back and we go, "Wish I had about 3/4 of that stuff back because it would sell so good on eBay." But it's so funny because I sold on eBay at that time, but I wasn't really serious about it. Just whenever I wanted money and I had a big item, I'd sell it. But even at our garage sales, we had people come in, and I knew they were resellers. I mean, they were trying to wheel and deal with me and get me down on the price. And I'm like, dude, I know what it's worth on eBay. I can tell you this. I'm not going to sell it to you for eBay price, but so. I would, that was kind of my mentality, which is kind of funny now that I think about it because I'm that guy now at the garage sales.
So. See, I've never officially done a garage yard sale since I've been a reseller. So it's been over 2 years now.
Yeah.
Now I used to have garage sales, but now that I am a reseller, I'm in that same boat that you're talking about. I'm like, I know the price point here. I know what I'm looking at, and I'm not just going to sell stuff for $1,
Yeah.
So it probably wouldn't be good for me to have a yard sale again.
No, because then the whole time I'd be sitting there going, man, I could have made more money on that. And that would just frustrate me. No, we actually did something else this last week that I'm hoping is another avenue for us to kind of open up in sales. We opened up a booth at the flip-flops on Palafox vendor mall. And so we ended up renting out a booth, which is really just a big shelf system, about 5 foot wide and about maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. It's got about 4 or 5 shelves. And so I put about 5 bins of comics out there, $1, $2, $5 comics, all the way up to $5. And then we put out a bunch of pop figures that I didn't really want to sell online, a bunch of toys that are complicated to ship. So we put that out there, and just in 2 or 3 days, we started making sales. So now,
do you have to work that area, or do you just set it up and then they take it and somebody else handles the transaction?
They handle everything. So basically, you go in and set it up, and every couple, you try to go in every couple weeks or so and update it, right? Try to make sure it's kind of changed around and make sure the new stuff's in there. But so we go in there and they handle all of it. So you have your little tags on your stuff, so that's basically your vendor number. And they when they take the money and do all that stuff, and then they have a tracking system that at the end of the day it emails you what you sold. So we know every day the things that we're selling. So we made some sales. First day out sold some comics, then next day sold some comics. And yesterday we sold some toys. So I kind of think this is we're excited because this is a way for us to kind of source a little differently, because there's a lot of things that we pass up that I go, I just don't want to ship it, or I don't want to mess
Right.
with it, you know. And because sometimes on eBay, you know, it could be kind of fickle, you know, whether or not somebody would buy it or not. So I would say that some of these things that we get, I mean, for instance, we sold yesterday a Thor's hammer. It was a Mattel Thor's hammer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to sell it on eBay because I looked on eBay and the comps were only like $9. And I'm like, so because we got it for free. It was at a garage sale, and the lady's like, just take those. I'm like, okay, we'll take them. But I was like, I don't want to sell it, you know, because I'm sitting there playing. We play with it around the house, and I'm like, let's just sell this in the booth. We put it in the booth. It sold for $14.99 yesterday.
Wow.
So
well, and you were talking about too, Dave, some of those things that you look at a yard sale or garage sale, you're like, that's neat, but man, how am I going to ship that? How am I going to box that thing up? Mm-hmm. And it's much better just to stick it in a booth like you're talking about. You know, that's things some people may not ever even thought about.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at your rental.
Yeah.
Per month. You know, how much ballpark. You don't necessarily have to tell us. You know.
No, I tell you, it's not bad. It's $60 a month. I mean, to me, that's cheap, and 10%. So 10% of whatever we sell, that's their fee for processing. But $60, we'll easily, I think, with just the stuff we have, we'll easily make that booth money back. And for me, it's, you know, it's not going to make eBay money for us. But I think it's kind of a neat idea, because down the road we'll see, you know, we may go to the bigger booth, you know, to the 4x8, you know, 4 foot by 8 foot booth, and you know, for $120 a month if we start getting some different stuff, because there's some vendors that make good money. But, you know, I'd love to have that consistency, but more so just have a place where I can put things to that I just don't want to mess with. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Where do you see yourself going as far as after your regular work life?
Well, being that I'm a young 58 right now, so I'll be 60 and I'll have 30 years with my job. So that's a tough one, because I think, you know 60 is a new 40, right? That's what they're saying or something. So I don't feel like I'm pushing 60. So I'm kind of hoping that when that retirement date comes, I can just kind of keep working. Now, my wife, who's a few years older than me, she's ready to retire. She's been working retail her entire life. And so I think the first step is we're going to see if we can get her retired, and then replace her income with the part-time income that we're making, which will be pretty close from the eBay business and all the other stuff that we have going on, and then allow her to work it full-time. Because I was just, you know, thinking about that the other day. Is like, it's hard for me to grow, because I'm the majority of the business right now. I mean, and it's not saying that she doesn't try to help, because she does a lot of stuff. She helps with the packing, pulling orders, and she does a lot of stuff. But for the majority of the stuff, I'm doing it all. And I can't really scale that, because it's hard to teach. It's hard to teach it to someone who's never done it. I've been doing it since 1997 on eBay. I used to do it when it was HTML and you had to store pictures, and it was horrible. So I'm just, you know, accustomed to it. That's not, her expertise was never there. So, but I think if I can get her to what I do, that would scale the business. So she could retire early, and we could basically kind of go from there and just be, you know, one full-time person, one part-time person still. So that's kind of the game plan right now. If I retire, I mean, if I stay until I'm 64, I think I get like 100% or something like that. I don't know how it all works, but I mean, the goal would be not to have to dip into that too much, right?
Right.
The teaching's not terrible, and you know, that's even something I even thought about. Is like, if I do retire, I could teach. So I have a master's, you know, I figure I could do something or teach somewhere. But,
what subject do you think you'd like to teach?
No,
if you did do it,
it would probably be, you know, there's a lot of stuff, because I'm a Salesforce guru and engineer. I could probably teach something along that technical field into that area. But I would, you know, marketing is my background, so I kind of like the idea of entrepreneurship. Just, you know, teaching something along that lines, because I've had a lot of businesses. I could go into a whole tirade of businesses we've had and failed, but and we've had some that were successful, but
no, it's not failed. You learned, right?
we learned. Yeah, there's no such thing as failure. There's always learning. So,
It's just learning.
but I've learned a lot. So, so I wish I had some of that money back, or some of those terrible ideas that we made. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what I want to do. But who knows? I mean, I definitely wouldn't teach math, so, and I wouldn't teach history because I don't know anything about that. But
You can
I
teach
don't
them
know.
reselling history.
Well, you could. If they have a reselling class, wouldn't that be fun? Maybe we should be teaching our kids this stuff. Even like the entrepreneurship. I mean, I think that's what we should be teaching kids, and I believe so much in it. Yeah, I don't know. You can work for someone else, and that's fine if that's what you like. But having your own business, or at least having something that you can work for that you call your own, there's nothing like it. So
That is a very true statement.
I started out in engineering in college, and I took. I was on my second year of calculus, and I was like, you know what? I just don't like this. I mean, I wasn't happy in it, and I was like, I'm not going to do engineering. I said I switched. That's when I switched majors. I was like, it just isn't what I see myself doing,
Right.
So, and then accounting though, and business, that's another area. I failed it once. I was like, I don't understand the debits and credits. So I've never kept up with a checkbook in my life. I always just keep enough money in the bank. I just know, hey, I got $100. I got good. Don't spend it. I got
Hey, I'm
$1,000.
good.
I can pay my bills. We're good. So yeah, debits and credits. I just never got it. So I don't know.
Well, I was doing just fine until they brought the alphabet over into the numbers, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, wait a
I
minute!
was like,
I don't see ABC 345. Wait a minute, what are we doing?"
No. Yeah, we started getting to that, and oh my gosh, I was doing. I just remember calculus, and I think it was pipeline dynamics, or I don't remember. Trying to figure out the flow through a certain diameter pipe with the calculus. I was like, no. I was it.
No idea.
I was like, no
You
more.
just write down a lot.
Yeah. It's like sufficient amount.
More than I want to calculate.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, hey, man, teaching is what do you teach, by the way? I didn't ask you that.
Physical education and
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go, man. That's actually a great job.
It's a wonderful job. I mean,
Yeah.
I get to stay physically fit. I'm literally in a gym all day long. From my job, I leave my job and then I go ref ball games. So I'm literally in a gym somewhere.
Man,
all
when does
day
that
long.
start? Well, that is cool though. But when does that start back for you?
I go back in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks. Oh, man. So what are you going to do about the podcast?
I'm just going to keep going.
Good, man. I'm glad to see that.
I let it trail off last year. But a lot of stuff going on. But this year, I'm committed to keeping it going, and on the Finder Slippers Resell podcast, which we're going to have you back on.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Over there as well. So hope everybody will go over and join us on the Finder Slippers Resell podcast.
Well, you're making some good headway, and I've seen all the stuff you guys are doing on Instagram and stuff, so it's great. And I love seeing your wife on there. Sherry likes to follow your wife too and see what stuff you guys find. That and Frizzy finds too. She's loving that stuff. Although we have decided that wherever they live, their thrift stores and their bins, there is nothing like that here. Our bins,
they're actually over in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's
really? Man, you go to our bins, you're lucky to get a stained Walmart brand. I mean, that's pretty much what you get. I mean, it is just like, I have never seen stuff like they're finding at our bins. I need
to just get in my vehicle and go over there and load it up with their bin stuff.
You do. You just go over there, spend 2 days at their bins, you come back with a haul.
Yeah, just haul everything back.
Golly, man, I'm just like totally blown away. My wife and I just sit there and go, where are they finding this stuff?
Yeah.
So
his wife, Lizzie's really, really good at finding good articles of clothing. That's mainly what they deal in is clothing.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big fan of clothing. I have a bunch to do. I just bought some really nice button-up Wrangler shirts, like extra large, with the what do you call it? It's like a bone-looking button on it, but they're real nice Wrangler Western shirts. I know they sell. I looked them up, and the comps, were $15 to $20, and I picked them up for $5. So all 3 for $5. So I thought that was pretty good. But now I gotta figure out how to photograph them and get them out there. It's
Well, here's what you do, Dave. You just put the shirt on, have your wife photograph you from the neck down.
There you go. Or just model it,
Yeah,
do something. The funny thing is, I think they'll fit now. I used to not be able to wear extra large, but I'm down about 35 pounds. So
oh, good for you.
Wow. Yeah. Well, trying to make some healthy changes in life because I'd like to live past my retirement age. So,
so yeah, you don't want to just hit retirement and then that's it.
No, I want to keep going.
Yeah, so, for sure. Some of the new things, especially since I've been on that other podcast, Stuart, he deals with a lot of paper products and things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ephemera. Yeah.
Ephemera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuart deals with ephemera. And it's kind of opened my eyes up to some things as I'm outsourcing. So this past Saturday, I'm just going to show you an example of something I found. This is really cool.
Ooh, nice.
Life magazine.
Wow, is that?
It's from December the 14th, 1942.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. How much did you get that for?
I got this for $2.
That's probably a pretty good deal. Mm-hmm. Have you looked at what's the comps on that?
It just depends. Some of them are 18, some of them are 20. But that's not the best thing about this.
Yeah.
Let me show you this right here, for example.
It was a different world back then.
Some people take them.
Yeah.
They sell off the advertisements in them.
Really? Oh my gosh. That is so cool. Look at that.
So they take the magazines apart and they sell off, they sell the advertisement. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, this one did not have the back of it. This is the last page, but the back of it.
Oh, okay. The back off. So, yeah, you might have to break that one up a little bit and do something different with it.
And that's one of the reasons why I thought I may break this one up and just sell. Here you go. I've got another one for you. Look at this old AC Delco.
Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Well, you loved it back then. So you're talking about the 40s. And, it was...
it's a whole different world.
It was a whole different world. The women, like in the kitchen, and you just had all these things that were like so different than where we're at now.
Look at this one.
Oh man,
she's all yours when you win Navy Wings of Gold.
Oh my gosh!
So you get to go flying.
Cool. That is so cool. That would be fun.
But that's something I would never in a million years look at. But as I've been doing this podcast, and I would never even looked at those things.
I looked at my problem is I watch all these people, and I do the same thing, and I see I don't know. I saw ADH Dave, I think, pick up a whole bunch of ephemera, like old postcards, and I thought, well, that's cool. So at one time I picked up a bunch of postcards that I thought were cool because they're really old.
Right.
No, you can't. It really is specific. Yeah, no, it didn't work, and I ended up selling them off in a lot. Just made nothing on them. But it's not. But it's if you can find stuff that you're passionate about or you like, I think that's where the key is. But there's certain things I just don't know. Like I don't think I could go out tomorrow and start buying glass. I don't know anything about Piranha glass or
that stuff right there. The paper products ships easily. You know.
Exactly.
Glass doesn't ship so easily.
No, it really doesn't.
But it's things like, and knowing how people part these books out, and knowing that the back cover was gone.
Right.
Like this front cover here, it's just loose. See.
Right. Yeah.
But knowing that I probably am going to part it out, I looked through and I looked at some of those advertisements in it. Mm-hmm. It's neat. Somebody could take and either laminate it and have a cool advertisement or something.
Or makes a neat poster, or
make a neat poster out of it. Yeah. So
there's a lot of things that people do with stuff like that. I know my daughter, being a grad student, and she's in theater, costume design, technology. And she gets a lot of projects like that where she has to take all these really old magazines to different things to put together and do stuff. But I know her last year at her undergrad, she had to do a project where she had to do something along the line of showing, I don't know, something feminist or something. So she took all these ads that were kind of, in a way, kind of anti-feminism, feminism, and turned it into a dress. And she literally made a dress out of paper.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, but it was all these ads that were, like old time ads like those that were kind of showing
Right.
women and different things and how things have changed now was all the theme. But it was really cool. So I mean, there's a lot of people that do a lot of stuff with it. So I sold I sold a book about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago to a lady, and I think it was Alice in Wonderland. And it was a really vintage Alice in Wonderland, but it was a big book. I mean, it was,
Right.
like a kid's book. And she got it, and she goes, I originally bought this because I was going to turn it into an art project, but she goes, I fell in love with it. She goes, now it's just part of my collection. So I was like, that's cool. So neat stuff, so you can do a lot of different stuff with different things.
Right. How many times have you gone to a sale and you pick something up and you buy it, and then when you get it home, you're like, I may not sell this. I like this. This is really cool. This may, like on your shelf behind you, it ends up back there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got this little guy yesterday. This is Maverick, and we have a local hockey team. I think it's ECHL. It's the Pensacola Ice Flyers. And I picked this up, and I thought, oh, there's none like it on eBay. And I was like, I'll sell it. And then I was like, I kind of like that. So he's going to stay on my shelf for a while. So,
Well, I know that the Knoxville Ice Bears, I don't know if they're in the ECHL anymore, but they used to be.
yeah,
I know they were in that same league there for a while.
they might play them. They play some interesting ones. A lot of the teams, I think, are down in the southern part, but they're very widely popular here. So, which is kind of nice to have some sort of sports, but especially hockey. No one thinks of hockey in the South. So
That's one of the things. That's one of the things that I like is these minor league teams. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Hmm.
It's an S with a catfish in it. I have no idea what team that is. I've looked it up and I cannot figure it out.
Huh. Well, let's see. An S with a catfish in it logo. I wonder.
Orange and blue. So if anybody knows, if we can't figure it out, if you know, leave a comment down there for us so I can try to figure this one out. But anyway, back to my point, I was talking about, these minor league teams. I like to pick up their stuff, and I'm less likely to sell that because to me it's an interesting conversation piece. Like, what is the S with a catfish? Well, now exactly. I don't know, but I would like to know.
No, exactly. Yeah, no, and that's kind of the way I am too. So I'll see stuff and I'll go. If the hat looks cool, I'll pick it up.
There was an area, I think it was Area 51 out in Arizona.
Yeah,
the Isotopes.
Oh, really?
I picked up a hat and it had an alien on the front of it. I sold that thing for, I'm not joking, like $50 for a hat.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So if you come across Isotopes and it's got a alien on the front of it, grab it and hang on to it, or sell it for $50 like I did.
Sell it for $50. I'll take the $50 all day long if I could buy it for $2. Yeah. Well, you're talking about buying interesting things, and that I was telling you that's part of it. This has kind of become my new passion now. Let's see. There we go. Comic books. So
okay.
I've been buying up like collections. Like I've bought a couple collections already, and just kind of. Especially like my favorite is Deadpool. That's the kind of the one so this is the first appearance of Deadpool. Although it's a facsimile, I wish if I'd had the actual one, it'd be worth about $900. And I also am a big Spider-Man fan. So
very cool.
So I've been picking up kind of stuff, and then I'm actually now starting to get some graded too. So that's kind of been a big thing, so I'm trying to find new things that interest me because like you can only buy so many plush animals and so many tennis shoes or so many, you know what I mean? Before you kind of like, you got to find something that you're passionate about. Like I love buying toys. That seems like that's been a lot of fun. And I mean, we're always going to buy digital cameras every time we're out there, because those make the money back. But trying to find something that you're passionate about that you can also collect, that's been kind of fun.
Right. If I think it's cool and I would like it, I get it now. But when I first started, David, I was like, oh, I need that T-shirt. Oh, I need that plush. And now I've got a bunch of bins of T-shirts and plushes in it that I can't get rid of. So
right.
There's no more new ones going in. Everything that leaves now, that's it.
Yeah, see, you might be doing the same rule that I have now. So I have certain bins. Like for instance, I have a game bin, one good size,
Hmm.
28-gallon, whatever size bin that I do just video games. And when that bin is full, I try not to buy any more video games. And I say that, but then like I'll come across one at a garage sale where she had 40, Xbox 360 games. I'm like, what do you want for it? And she's like, $20. I'm like, okay,
Get some adding
because
to my pile.
well, yeah, because you can lot up 4 or 5 games for
Sure,
15, $18 and make
sure.
your money back. So because I've been selling the heck out of those, but yeah, I'm doing the same thing. So when a bin is full, typically though, I quit buying it, because it's just you can't. I have no space for it. We were at the Goodwill bins the week my daughter was here. We went to the Goodwill bins and we found a bunch of like just a bunch of sealed DVDs and Blu-rays, and they were sealed. I was like, well, I kept looking at them like they're sealed. I'll just grab them. And it
Hmm.
turns out, some of them. I mean, they're not. I'm not going to be rich off of them, but for what I paid for all the stuff that we got, I think I was at $50, and we took home, 2 full bags of stuff. Most of them like CDs and different things and toys. But I'll make my money back, 10 times. But
Right.
it's kind of hard to pass it up. It's just not a passion. I'm starting to learn that. It's like it's hard to find. Like you going out garage selling this weekend, there were some okay sales. I mean, I ended up. I think we ended up with some stuff that was good. I haven't bought plush in a long time, but I found some good deals on plush this weekend, so we
Hmm.
ended up with that, and we'll sell that. But and then I found some stuff for my grandson, so I'll obviously give him some things too.
Right.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that I passed up that I was just like, I just don't feel like messing with it.
But
Like
don't you feel
Legos.
though, Dave, like that you're getting better as far as a reseller when you're doing that kind of stuff now?
I think if you can say no, you've grown, right? I
Hmm.
look back at all the buys that I made when I first started because I thought, oh yeah, this is good. I can sell this, and I'm still sitting on it. And then you learn that, and like you say, I mean, you kind of are buying an education, right? I mean, there's no question about it. You're getting better, but you know what I attribute it to? I look at it and I go, if I can go to a garage sale and not pull out my phone, and I can value stuff there, I feel like I've done well. And I'm getting to the point now where I can kind of do that because I kind of go, I know that sells,
Hmm.
or I know it doesn't sell. I don't even look it up anymore. So
That's the way I am. I'm getting to where I just don't even take my phone with me out of the car. I just leave it in the car,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it started training me to really, you know, figure out
yeah,
these things and the values of them, and
yeah.
really learn.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing to do. I mean, it is hard to do if you don't know. I mean, because like I said, we made a lot of mistakes in the very
Oh
beginning.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, I was retail arbitraging hats because I thought hats kind of interested me, and I had a lot of them. I had at one point over 800. I think if my numbering system, the way I have one set of numbers I use for hats only, I'm on my second set of numbers, so I'm in the 2000s now. So I've gone from, we have sold a lot of hats. I think I've sold probably over 600 hats in the past 2 years. So, but they're bread and butter. They're not. I'm not making hundreds of dollars off of them, but I'll make $10 or 15 or $8, and I've only got sometimes less than $1 in it. So,
Hmm.
but that's. But I have some that I literally. But it's like this weekend. I sold 2 hats this weekend that have been in my inventory since 2021, but they sold, which is weird.
Very long tooth, but they
It
sold.
really is. They sold. I was like, well, I mean, it's like I told my wife. I'm like, I I know when I every time I think about getting rid of them, I just I was like something sells, and I'm like, so we took some of them, put them out of our booth too, So we thought,
Hmm.
well, the more unique ones, especially ones that are like Marvel and different kinds of hats that are more mainstream or pop. So we'll see how those do.
Well, one of the last things, David, I want to talk about today is what really gets you excited about reselling. What motivates you to get up on that Saturday morning and go out and look, or go to the thrift store and look? There's something that's pushing you. What do you think it is?
Honestly, I I think it's the thrill of the hunt, right? I mean, I don't, if you haven't experienced it, so there's people that probably do this and don't resell. They just go for the fun. Like I meet a lot of people that go to garage sales just because they like to go find deals. They like to go find
Mm-hmm.
something and they just have fun doing it. But for me, it's the thrill of the hunt. If I didn't get up on a Saturday morning at 6 o'clock and be ready out the door before 7 to get to the first garage sale, I feel like I'm missing. I have that fear of missing out, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what keeps me going. Is like I kind of feel like I'm going to find that one thing. I'm going to come across a collection of comics. There's going to be a $10,000 comic in
Right.
it, or I'm going to find that guy that's trying to sell all of his digital cameras, and I'm going to make $800 off of these things. And if I don't show up, somebody else is going to get that. So it's the fear of missing out, but it's also that thrill of the hunt. And it's like you said, though, I'm getting better at saying no, but it is a lot of fun. I just enjoy the heck out of going out there, and I enjoy the interaction with people when they're nice. There's some that
Right.
aren't, so so.
I think to me, I would liken it as either the hunter that goes out to try to get some game,
Yep.
or the fisherman that goes out. They may fish all day and not catch a thing, but
Right.
at least they were in it to do it.
You're having fun, and it's something that you enjoy doing, and it's just there's a thrill to it, even that you don't succeed. I mean, it's kind of like it's like competitive sports. Think about it. You didn't win every game, but man, you sure tried, and
Right.
that feeling that you had while you're doing it. It was the same reason I used to compete in cycling. It's the same reason I used to compete in martial arts. I mean, it was all those different things. It was really the thrill of doing it. Now I just do stuff that's not beating up my body so bad. So I still get a thrill out of it.
Unless you get into a pushing match at a yard sale or something.
Well, no, that's at the bins. Yeah, I've had that happen at the bins where they push you out of the way. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I'm a pretty big guy. You don't want to push me too hard. So you're going to have to work at it.
Yeah.
Some of those ladies get in there and just like, and you're like, okay,
Get out of the
fine.
way.
Like, dang, all right. Hey, if you need that little plushie, that's fine. You go ahead and grab that thing.
Go
I don't
ahead.
need it that bad. I gotta. Oh man.
That's funny. Well, that is all the time that we have today with Mr. David Beckham, the Breeze Flippers. Thank you so much, Dave, again for joining me on the Slim Flippers. It's nice
Thank
to
you for
catch
having
back up with you again,
It is.
and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Oh, I hope so too. So thank you for having me.
Well, take care, my friend.
Take care.